Let me take you back to 1994. Some of you were there. The Mosaic browser had just launched and had been rebranded as Netscape. Most of us were still using faxes and using pagers. The internet existed, but it was more a novelty in universities where undergraduates were using it in electrical engineering or computer science programs. But it was an important moment because it was the moment we all look back to as the coming of the internet age. And one of the things I realize as I think about it is that we are in this historical parallel moment now with AI. Back in the mid-90s, with the rise of the browsers, people were asking, hey, should I have a website? By 2005, the question was, do we have a better website? And I think AI is going to force the same compression, although same shift with every business and organization, but the timeline is going to be compressed from 20 years to 3 years. And that is something we see every day in our business. We see this with our beta users across 300 enterprises in 18 plus countries. And that's something we're hoping we can share our experience that others can sort of learn from and use it to their advantage. So the AI movement we're in, we have to remember the gap is not an AI problem, right? It's the transformation problem. It's a problem that is rooted in the fact that a couple of years ago, when ChatGPT launched in sort of November of 2022, everybody thought it was like a software tool or an upgrade. It is not. It is a very different approach to how we think about our work, our organizations, and the future of work. Very similar to the rise of the browser and how businesses became driven on the internet. And that transformation is one of the biggest challenges that I'm hoping we can talk about today. And the tools that AI is sort of giving to all of us, right, whether it's a ChatGPT or Grok or Claude or Gemini, are going to drastically reshape the business landscape in the next 3 years. And that's going to be a very important transformation for all of us to make as teams, as individuals, and drive that. The hardest shift isn't adopting AI. It's going from how I use AI to how we use AI. Individual adoption is a tool upgrade. Organizational adoption is a cultural transformation. And experiencing that in marketing is going to be something that is going to transform the way we all work. So for 20 years, all of us optimized in marketing for ranking #1 in the Google search. And that came as a consequence of, whether we optimized the keywords, we wrote the right content, we figured out, how do we bring our awareness rankings up within that algorithm. And that algorithm changed over the 20 years many times. And a lot of people who had tried to game it once then had to relearn everything twice, right? And that's a transformation most marketers are quite familiar with. That era isn't ending, but it's being supplemented by something far more important. And that's what we see here with, the new communications landscape of AEO and GEO. And that is important to understand because Gartner predicts that in 2026, 25% of Google search traffic is going to drop, which means not that you're not going to continue to have SEO, but it will be in a different mix in your sort of digital marketing landscape.
That we came up with, it's the 3 Ps: people, process, patient. And I cannot stress this enough. You need all of them. The people. You got to give your people skills, trust, and clarity. Explain to them what it is that they're going to be doing, how they're going to be doing it. And then, of course, there has to be some back and forth that, all right, you're rolling this out from the top down. And I think that this is all going to work for us. We're all going to be in it together. The process, you have to explain this. And unfortunately, it is going to be ad nauseum. You're going to have to say this over and over and over again. How we're going to do something, who's going to do it, when they're going to do it, and why they're going to do it. It's not just a one-page memo that you release at 9 a.m. on Monday and sometime by Tuesday afternoon, everybody's on board. This is something that you're going to have to do over and over again. And the third P is patience, because you're going to have to be doing this over and over again. I can tell you just quickly, I am a child of the newspaper industry, and that industry changed tremendously throughout my entire careers in there. And so I've seen how long it takes to get, that process and, transformation done. It takes a lot of patience. The last thing, it's right there. This is clearly an operational shift. This is not just a new tool or a new way of doing something. This is literally a complete new mindset. All right, so pods. That was something that we came up with at Gutenberg, is to literally change the way that we organized our entire company. So instead of having a content team over here and the digital team over there, search engine, social media, all of these different people doing different things, which is a fantastic thing, let's put one from each of them into a pod and see how that works. Why? It gave us faster decision making, fewer handoffs, clear ownership. That's really one of the things, is like you take 6 people, put them in a room and say, your job is to take care of this, and all of you have totally different skill sets. One of you is going to build the engine, another person is dealing with the transmission, somebody else is doing the aerodynamics, and all of that comes together in the end with scalable creativity. It literally works when you put a bunch of different like-minded individuals into this organizational pod. It doesn't make the team smaller, it just makes the outcomes clearer. Yeah, just to the 3 Ps, people, patience, process, not necessarily in that order, but people is the number one thing. People constantly talking about how important this is, what this is going to do for you, not to you, how you can get behind this, and there's going to be amazing things that happen. The process, going over the process, and whenever there is an issue, hey, let's own it. That didn't work? Great. Let's go back to the drawing board, figure it out together, and move forward. And then patience, doing it over and over and over again. It does take a little bit of time, and some of it is like muscle memory. I have to tell you that for a big chunk of 2025, when I needed an answer to something, I would go to a search engine. That's not what you need to do anymore. This is now 2026. You don't need to go to a search engine for an answer for something, or for basic even research. This is just one of the biggest changes to humanity ever. And I know that's just a giantly bold statement, and it's really, look, I'll back it up with, at the turn of the century, when we had the Industrial Revolution and we were figuring out electricity. The biggest thing that people thought was, okay, well, we'll have lights that are not gas lamps anymore, and we'll all, electricity. Cool, not a big deal. Electricity led to refrigeration and food changes across the entire world, and cellular phones, and gaming, and rockets, and you name it. If somebody said to you in the year 1905, oh, I know what's going to happen because electricity is coming out, no, they didn't. It's not possible. But this is even bigger than that. This is something that is going to change humanity. It will change the entire world many, many times over.
The one thing I tell everybody is, There is nothing that AI cannot do. Think of it as the smartest, all-knowing, colleague, friend, brainstormer. So when people talk about hallucination and AI slop, it really is not the AI's challenge. It is how we use it, and that is why we want to spend time making sure everybody uses it in the right way and really unlocks the power of what AI brings to all of you. And on that note, thank you for being patient with us and hearing us out.